Alright, hello everybody and welcome to another Minecraft Musings. I really got an itch to go traveling and exploring, so I was doing some of that off screen and I am about this far. There you go. So, I started about the middle of the map too, so it was kind of weird. I'm gonna have to go back to the middle once we get there. So, but yeah, exciting stuff. Getting a little more organized in some of the side projects and kind of putting like labels to them and like descriptions and stuff. I have a brainstorms page, which I should probably go add that to all the videos and stuff. But it's something that like I got to make sure that it's okay for all audiences. I mean, like I've said before a few times, I'm all often worried about that with Minecraft videos, is because I know some kids are gonna watch it, and it's like, do I really want them having these worries? Like, although if anything, I think it is reassuring that a lot of these projects that I'm working on, and it's not just me. I hate how vain it sounds, even though it's not intended that way. It's like, oh, my side projects. It's like, side efforts might even be a better thing. I don't know, but they might grow into projects, and who knows? Maybe a Nobel one day. That'd be sick. Like um, Big Bang Theory, when they just talk about getting a Nobel like it over and over, and that's like a huge achievement in the scientific community, which it is. I mean, I'm not trying to sell it short, but to consider myself a scientist, that's awkward. So even though I don't, I studied computer science through, got a degree in applied computing technology, so that's part of it. I don't feel like I'm a full, CS major, even though I was side by side with a lot of the same people and did most of the same classes. Anyway, so you can even kind of start hearing my own insecurities about my degree. But worked in practice too. I've done a few IT and tech jobs, and even at the job that I didn't really consider as technical, building wind turbine blades for a couple of years, I still ended up setting up their 3D printing lab. So it was like, it was pretty fun. I mean, and it worked too. It was great. I didn't do a whole lot, but um, yeah. So, but the projects, I think they're able to deliver a bit of relief, a bit of reassurance that things aren't as bad as they seem. Now, I know it's very vague and broad, and especially, oh, easy said after COVID and all that, but that's kind of where a lot of this stuff started. I mean, I had a job change. I was part of some layoffs, and like found myself looking for work again. And it's like, all right, and I was able to take education, thankfully, because of the place that I had the layoff from. So it was like, um, it actually ended up working out quite to my benefit, and that's part of like we have the family FAMLI Act now in Colorado, and like it's where people are able to afford some paid time off, PTO basically. And it's like government sponsored, government helped, assisted. You know, these types of socialist programs that a lot of Republicans don't want. Like they don't want things like, oh, let's not help people out then. Nah, like your employees, your workers are going to be a lot better. I mean, it really should be on the companies to be able to afford every employee a week or two every year. And it has to be every year. They need at least a week or two to just not think of work, not do work, not go to work, not show up to work. Like you have a week, chill, go to a sandy beach somewhere, go to whatever you need to do. I mean, I'd like to go back to Costa Rica. Like that's got to happen. And that very well can. In fact, I'm thinking about trying to put together like a bit of a bachelor's cruise kind of thing. Like go on literally like a techno rave cruise. Those things look so sick. And I do have friends that go. And it's like I haven't talked to them much and it's like I mean, became a dad, so I kind of had to hang up my spurs a lot, so to speak. Ugh, I hate being thought of as a cowboy. It was always awkward. I'm not. I mean, I'm just from a redneck hick place and I talk kind of like I got that redneck drawl a little bit. See again, pointed inwardly, self-analyzing. Like it's hard to avoid. With the projects. So even convincing a few wealthy people to give out personal loans to people for things like first time home buying. There's actually a company in northern Colorado that's doing that. Elevations Land Credit. They give down payments. It's awesome. Like I don't know how much they're able to do. They're still starting up. I mean, they only have I think it's up to like 58 properties now for just this one subdivision. And when I just did some of the classes, because I'm trying to qualify for some of their programs. I mean, I do have a good job, but I also have two kids and I have expenses, so, and debt too. I need to pay back some debt for my education. Oh, sorry, hold on. Somewhere to the tune of like 50, 60 grand for my undergrad, and 10 grand for my cyber certificate, which was worth it too. I mean, I'd still say that that's what ultimately sealed the deal with my current job. Is like I've been trained as a cybersecurity professional. I do have an understanding of how cyber attacks work, what to look out for, how to harden the system, and all that. Yeah, lightning. Whew. And and I'm a slacker though. I'm working on my home office, my home network. Like it's not as good as I'd like, but I mean, I don't have that many computers connected currently. I try to keep the majority of my stuff. It's a zero trust aspect. Like when in doubt, just disconnect it. Do not have it connected. Do not have it plugged in. Do not have it whatever turned on. Like just shut it down if you're not using it. If you don't want it to be going. And even your main one. Like, and I'm bad about this. I feel like I should almost like. I think I do have the sleep settings to where it goes to sleep pretty quickly, or close the lid on a laptop. Like I do the lock screen whenever I'm like done with something, and then that usually instigates a power save mode where it doesn't have to display the screen. It's just a screen lock, and eventually it goes black. Saves the energy, all that. In fact, I get freaked out whenever my laptops start like they light up. Like, what are you doing? I wasn't talking to you. Like, I don't need you to be doing anything. You stay asleep. Even if it's running stuff in the background, and that's like the unfortunate thing is we got to be careful. You got to watch out. But all you got to do really is put security onion on any of the nodes on your network, and you're pretty good. That'll flag all the stuff, send it off to who needs to look at it, and it basically makes your network a honeypot of sorts. Now, it all depends on how much you give access to it. Like if you have security onion on one machine, it's not gonna. Although don't quote me on that. I can't guarantee that. And also, I need to get some water. Yeah, let me grab that real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so actually maybe I could get that done tonight. I wanted to redo how I do my network scanning stuff because I'm making a list, checking it twice, and everyone that's even trying to connect to my network, I'm taking note of, and it's like, whew, it's a lot. A lot of you non-sensors out there, and like seeing what people are trying to do, whew, naughty, naughty. So it's okay. Your government might be knocking on your door. I'm just kidding. Please don't hack my network. Like I really don't want to. Nobody wants to. But that's why me and a bunch of other people, a lot of really upset people, are looking to fight back. So, and it's not just Americans. Like, the whole world is sick of it. Like, sick of people taking shortcuts is basically what it boils down to. Now, if you want to put in the time, put in the work, get the education, and do the stuff, you get the fancy things. Like, you get the good jobs, you get the productivity, you get the ability to do, you know, the caliber or the level of work that basically all companies require now. I mean, it's just standardized. And with AI coming up, like, that's going to fix a lot of things, but it's not going to replace people. You still need to be able to use it and, like, implement it and, like, maintain it, watch it, use it. I mean, they're tools. It's like going from a hammer and nails in construction to a nail gun. Now, granted, I've built houses for a summer, like a little more so, like almost a year, I think, or maybe between half a year. I don't even remember, because like the seasons up in the mountains, like you had snowboard and ski season. That's when I was at the ski resort for a few years. Then outside of that, I was working restaurant jobs and construction, so I, mean, I can't really remember, but feels like a long time. But the fish is this big. I tend to exaggerate things. I want to try to keep that in check because whether we intend it or not, it happens. The exaggeration. It's like a car crash. Nobody intends for a car crash. Wakes up like I'm gonna get into an accident. That's why they call them accidents. Well, there's a lot of things you could do to cut down on accidents. Plan ahead, make sure. Oh, and I'm gonna try to put out some of those tonight. I'm working on some scratch programs. Well, I haven't even started on these ones, but it doesn't take much to throw it together. Like basically, I want to make like a traffic intersection and then use that template to describe a bunch of driving safety things on Scratch. So easy a kid can understand it. Like, which is kind of offensive because, like, honestly, even my kids, if I don't keep it, if I'm not careful, they're gonna get smarter than me very quickly. Like, they, I didn't grow up with having the internet, like, and they don't have unfettered access. Don't get me wrong, but like even in school, like the tools, like the stuff that you can bring from around the world and just plop right in front of people, like, you can explore museums, you can explore. I did show them bioluminescent fish and sea life when they were kids, like kids, but I don't think they remember that time now. So a refresher might be in order, but just like playing this game. Like they both love Minecraft and they see all this stuff, and as we like, we'll play it together too, and like, um, and I'll just explain like, oh yeah, see that? Like that's bioluminescent stuff, the sea pickles or cucumbers or whatever they are. Like I say that a lot too because I think that helps with their understanding. It's like it doesn't have to be word for word what someone's trying to say. Like it could be. I mean, it's being able to understand. So I don't know if it's exactly sea pickle or sea cucumber. So I say both. And even I do that in my writing too. I'll throw a slash or like a pipe. It was what it's called in Linux. Basically, it's like the vertical line or the vertical bar. Um, yeah. Sorry, I'm also like I'm in the process of trying to like gather up some folks. I've been doing it for a while now, a few years. Just trying to check in, see how people are doing, and then also see if they want to take part in some of the stuff. Also, there's some more bioluminescence. I think those are sea lanterns, but ooh, and actually, nah, I'll leave them. Like, see, this is. I mean, it's also good to mark the underwater temple. I do kind of want that, but I like those. I'll have to figure out how to make those. And I think that's the lesson that we should really be teaching people is like, it's cool, leave it though, because it's cool for them. Like, that's their building. Like, even though it's a temple, I mean, that's why curses were even such a huge part of folklore and myths and legends. Like the curse of the mummy. Alright, also, I'm straying. I could be. The goal is to take the least amount of trips, passes to explore all this stuff, while still exploring it. And so far, this is a giant water world. Which is fine, because I feel like that building a gigantic base out here wouldn't be too damaging, because it's kind of boring and empty and vast. And although, try to live in harmony with the nature. And that's why I love watching my daughter play. Like, she does all this stuff for animals. Like, she does all the... I mean, she makes sure they have water and food, and, like, they... like, troughs. I saw, like, I don't know, like, places for the fish to go. It's crazy. And I always wanted, like, squirrel tubes in whatever house I got. So, like, squirrels could just run around, like, up in the corners of the room. Keep them, like, safely secured away from the actual house. Like, have the tubes only have entrances and exits so they could run through, watch me while I work or something. And then, and have food in there for them, stuff, like shelters, maybe like make little nest areas. Oh, see, that'd be cool. Like private for them, so like you're not watching their nest area, but like, although you don't know what could be living in there, although you'd see the entrance and exits. Oh man, it'd be like a real live network monitoring. So you don't know what's going on in the black box in the areas that you don't have visibility to, but everywhere else that you have logs of their comings and goings and their identities and all that. Like, oh yeah. Hmm. I want to set up a web server, but I'm kind of scared to because I feel like that's just like inviting even more stuff. I don't know. And like the people that don't really know a lot about cybersecurity or anything like that are probably just like, oh my gosh, this kid, nothing. I'm an adult. Ugh, even though I don't act like it sometimes. That's right. Never grow too old. And actually, I gotta do a thing, an official thing for society. Huh. No, it's gonna be fun. That's why I'm drying some clothes though, because I want to wear this particular outfit. Nothing too fancy. In fact, I almost went to a funeral, but I'm not actually gonna go because it's kind of a, it's not a my place kind of thing. But I'm gonna write a, not like a eulogy, like, but I'm gonna write a memory and speak it before the funeral, online, digital. But I don't want to detract from. Anyways, it's a whole thing. I don't also want to like give out too much information about it. It's an important funeral basically, but I'm not going to go. I'm going to be there in spirit and digitally, remotely. There you go. So, hmm. And actually, yeah, I'm kind of like drafting. That's my biggest thing today. If I accomplish one thing, well, two things. I got to go to the thing, this social. Sorry. And then I got to draft a thing. Don't know when to submit it. I mean, I don't want to, but yeah, if I make it, if I do it right, if I do it respectfully, then I could just send it off tonight. So that's kind of the goal. But if I don't, I've got tomorrow, and then I've got Tuesday. Wednesday's kind of pushing it. So, anyways, yeah. It still drives me crazy, like leaving timestamps on these things, but at the same time, like I might actually remove all the timestamp things just because, like, by the time that a lot of people start looking at this stuff, they might be trying to like figure out my schedule, like, oh, like when's he home, like making videos, when's he, blah blah blah. But I mean, the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter. There's a scalable way to ensure a certain level of protection, not guaranteed. Like no security system is perfectly guaranteed, but and without going full blown like that one dude on Better Call Saul, where he gets this security system, and it just was totally avoided by the very person that he was trying to protect himself from. Anyways, without giving too much detail, go check out the show. Um, and they ain't paying me for it. Just thinking about that, like, oh, what was it? Because I have something. Well, anyways, technically I am a backer of the Red Key USB. So I mean, whenever I do talk about that, it could be seen as a conflict of interest, like an advertisement, but it's not really. I mean, and if anything, I've been upfront and forward with them, be like, hey, I'm going to use this to try to donate laptops to people in need. And I still feel like I should buy another one and use it for that purpose. Because the one that I use, I bought one for my household. So for my personal projects, every time I get a laptop or a computer or something and I need to wipe it, I use my key. So, but I'll probably buy another one. And actually, I'm trying to recruit. That's part of why I'm trying to recruit these people is because like I'm building a gathering of contacts around the world so that they can receive computers, wipe them, or receive the keys even, and just get computers from their local area, wipe them, redistribute them, and repurpose them. Kind of like make it more of a scalable solution and also more of a remote solution. So I don't actually have to be as hands-on. They can just take it and run with it. Really excited to talk to my boy out in Mumbai. Ah, he was cool. And he helped me when I was in a time of need. Like, I mean, so without going too much, that makes it sound more epic than it was. Uh, I guess it was my taxi driver, but like they are powerful. The locals are powerful when they can guide you like that. Help you get to where you need to go on time safely. I mean, and India's coming along. Like I am so pleasantly relieved with like how it's still got a ways to go, but like Denver. I mean, having grown up and seeing Denver and Colorado Springs, it's not that much different. Like there, you got your poor areas, you got your slumish areas. I mean, okay, yeah, it is a little more extreme as I say that, but like not nothing they can't come back from, and then relatively quickly too. Like I don't know, and I think they're close to that. I mean, they need a bunch of like safety gear, PPE, personal protective equipment. Like even just like work shoes, work gloves. Like I mean, I was watching them building streets and roads without a lot of stuff. They had some stuff. Like I'm not saying they were just like savages out there like with nothing, but I saw some of them like wearing flip-flops. Like no. anyone who's ever dropped a weight, like if you're lifting weights, like that's why you always wear your shoes when you're lifting weights. Shower shoes if you're in a public shower, like a company shower or something. Like, um, I mean, because yeah, we did that. I mean, we didn't do that. I probably should have taken showers when I built wind turbine blades, because you use materials that are potentially hazardous, and you might not necessarily want them on your clothes. Oh wait, this is another one, I think, because I'm going further into the unknown, the uncharted area. Yep, so there's two sea temples out here. Yeah, let's leave that. And then see how we can replicate it, build them. So I think you gotta turn it out of peaceful, and then fight the mobs that spawn there. Is that a cat? Anyways, could have been a number of things. I get the oh, dolphin could be. Much more likely it was a dolphin. uh, and I was not a fan of the dolphin's mechanic where it takes. Um, actually, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, where it takes stuff that you drop and it plays with you. It plays catch or fetch or keep away. Really, I think is a better description of it. But hmm. I also don't like attacking or killing them either. I feel like that's like bad juju. Like it's not something you want to be doing. I don't know, but I think the more that people experience death, like real death, the less likely they are to do it, like to where it would replicate, like that feeling. That now this is being a simulation. Like I know that if I accidentally oops and unalive a bunch of fish or whatever, or if I jump out and kill those squids, like okay, but you wouldn't do that in the wild. Like jump out and kill a squid, assuming to get like a thing of ink that you need to make, like you would just go buy paper and stuff, and like there are other ethical ways to source that type of stuff. Like you can rest assured that the real world isn't as crazy as that, or you like to hope. I mean, and that's what the kind of part of the work we're doing nowadays, just as people, is trying to like discover where that's happening, not try to be judgmental, like because that's another big thing is like all the animosity and ugliness that would um okay, I mean for like iron, yes, I'm gonna take that. Ah, as it like glitches and then I fall to my death or something. Wait, can I fall over there? Oof. I mean, I am gonna. Any more? Whee! Ah! All right. Oops. I'll take the coal too. Then ethically sequester it back into the ground in blocks. No, I use it for torches, but I mean, and it also heals the pickaxe and could heal up whatever else. I don't have to justify my life to you. I'm just kidding. All right, so projects though, a lot of really cool stuff. Ooh, in fact, let's get some. Yeah, see, we already have like a little bit going on. Okay. 'Cause, I mean, we're still gonna eat meat. I mean, fish, chicken. Maybe slow down on cows. And I'm just as guilty too. I like a burger every now and then, but I think that's part of what. I mean, that is one of the biggest killers. Okay, let's not get too overboard with it. Let's continue exploring. Unless we see some more iron like that. Copper, I should because I'm trying to gather a lot of that, but oh, there's even another. Wait, yeah, another underwater temple. we'll leave that for now. Because I mean, mining, what we did a lot of in Colorado, it's pretty bad, actually. I mean, digging out tunnels into the mountains, yeah, it's not good. I mean, and then the runoff, like, pollutes the waters downstream, makes it harder for life. Like, yeah. There's some ethical, issues, concerns with mining and such. And water treatment, like, that's something I feel like I should learn more about. My dad worked at a water treatment plant for a bit. Like, he had some notes and whatnot, but like, and I've seen it described, like PBS actually did a special. I mean, they had it was like a leach field, and they had like the different stages of water purification that were actually done at a water treatment plant. So basically we just need to like reinforce PBS and stuff, but, oh, actually, where are we at? Okay. I was gonna say I might just go set that dryer again, but I can wait 5 minutes. But anyways, I usually don't even like using the dryer. I hang my clothes, like, that's one of the little things that I try to do. Also because, I mean, electricity use, like, try to cut it down, but as I say that, I've got, tons of computers and stuff. And actually, as I say that, I've taught both my kids, when you're done using something, well, we're still working on that with the PlayStations, but, like, we still have the hour timer. I mean, so they'll go to sleep after an hour. But with computers, they lock it down. Like, they turn it off. Not turn it off all the way, but they lock the screen. Which then they go into power saving. So. Sorry, now I'm all like just thinking about Linux. So I've got my big old handy Linux or Unix and Linux system administration handbook. It is a beast. It's like the size of a Bible. It's just thick, or like a dictionary actually. There you go. So keep it non-secular and non-religious. Ah. Wait, do I even really want to go there, or would it be more beneficial? This is what I'll do. Maybe you can get some... actually, gravel's good to get too, now that I think about it, because if I want to start getting into some building materials, you need gravel and sand to make concrete, which that's actually a concern. Like, the usable sand for concrete is being diminished throughout the world, or so says this one company that I was watching for hempcrete. Now, hemp has actually been... industrial hemp has been legalized nationwide for the US, except I think Idaho still has an issue with hemp. Now, hemp has a ton of uses, but one of is hempcrete. So we could actually make houses, cheap houses, super cheap houses, with like, a skeleton of something more sturdy, and then using bricks of hempcrete. So they're not great, like they're not super durable, but in places where that's not an issue, I mean, okay, so there's like the off chance that someone could like try to tear through a house's side, but even as I say that, if they're gonna take a saw to a brick of hempcrete, it's about the same effort as if like a wooden wall. So I mean, you'd be cutting into someone's wall either way. So I mean, no, never mind. I don't think people would cut many holes in hempcrete houses. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because I'm trying to like play the devil's advocate and poke holes in and be like, okay, well, what could go wrong? What needs to be considered? What options need weighed? Such and such. So, yep. All right, that's good musing for now. I'm gonna go off, do a couple work on some projects, like some Linux stuff. Now I kind of want to like go run some scans of my network, see what's going, what's popping. It's gonna be embarrassing if somebody's actually like been parked like again I haven't noticed. Just kidding. I shut everything off for that. I don't know. Actually, that's what's creepy. All right, no, enough of that. So ta-ta for now. Oops, don't drown. I will see you in the next one. Happy musings, everybody.